we are doing today. So one is intent finder training. So intent finder is an NLP based ML model. NLP based ML model. So how we train the intents based on the configurations or based on the model parameters. So how we train the model and get the intent out of it. Then how do we predict the intent? That is one use case which we're gonna see today. And there is another use case how we extract the entities out of the text of a given text. So you can tell pay my bill of 500, so you'll extract 500, all those things, right? All those things as a values, right? So those use cases which we are going to see today in this session. So first thing is now we'll focus on intent finder. That is a pure ML model, ML model. So for intent finder, no, there is we have a request format like this. So for example, for first thing, we have five algorithms for intent finder. I'll tell you which are all the five algorithms we use. You guys can use all the five algorithms to test, or any one algorithm or two, based on your choice. So we support currently five algorithms for training the model. So we have something called multinomial naive Bayes. So this is one of the algorithm which we use, and this has a default parameters. These are the algorithm parameters. So if you want to know what exactly is this, then you need to go in deep with the algorithm. So this is the multinomial naive Bayes, and which has this algorithm parameters. And there is another algorithm called one versus rest multinomial naive Bayes algorithm. Even this has some default algorithm parameters, something like this. And one versus rest SGD algorithm. So one versus rest stochastic gradient. This is what stochastic gradient algorithm. And there is another called only SGD classifier, stochastic gradient classifier. And there is last one, SVC, support vector machine classifier. So these are the default parameters which we support for these algorithms. So for training, no, this is the request format we use for training. I'll explain each and every component in this request format. So we have a component, we have a node called classifier, wherein all the algorithm and all algorithms and the algorithm parameters sits in this classifier node. So it can be a list, it can be a list of algorithms. So or else if you want to train only one algorithm, then it's fine, go ahead with one algorithm, that depends on you. And for every model of training, so there will be a unique model name can be anything, and unique model version for every model training. There will be a version of incremented version. So when you're training initially, you can just give it as 1.0. And model ID I've given a sample. It depends on you how any name you can give for model ID. And the file path, I'll come to this file path section, what you need to give here. I'll come to this. Then we have in request for training, we have something called model parameters. So these are the model. If I want to explain model parameters, you need to know what is pre-processing. Okay, so when before training any model, we do some pre-processing. What is pre-processing? In the sense, we clean up all the raw data in the file, in the training file. So I'll show you how the training file looks like. Uh, okay, so this is the training file. So if you want to train any intents, you need to update your file like this. So here we have a column called utterances, and we have a column called intent. So say for example, if you want to train an intent for open account, so I have given an intent to open account, and I'll give some of the utterances, some n number of utterances. How many utterances you can add, you can add to this file. So these utterances will be related to this open account. Say for example, I want to open a new account. So this is an open account. I want to open a new account in your bank, something like that. Oh, please open a new account or create an account. So all these things, no, will be related to this open account. uh, Finally put together, this will be categorized into one group called open account intent. So this is the training file which you need to prepare for each and every intent. So we have something like bill payment. For bill payment you can you can say please pay my bill, or pay my DTH bill, or I want to pay bill, pay last month bill, something like that, clear my outstanding bill, something. You can tell in n number of ways to pay bill. So some of the utterances will be part of the training file. So when you train this no, the model gets trained based on these utterances, and you can just test it. There is another file called testing file. Testing file also will be similar to that for training file, but the utterances here no, these utterances will not be inside the training file. These utterances are the unique, not unique. Maybe these utterances will not be inside the training file. So say for example, if you want to increase your accuracy, or if you want to get a good precision of your model, then the testing file plays an important role here. So all these utterances no, these are not trained, but we are testing with these utterances. Say for example, open account in Beta Bank is what I have given for testing. So this open account for Beta Bank, the same utterance is not in the testing file. So we are testing the model. We are testing the model based on the utterances given. We are based on the utterance what we have not trained. So these are the testing utterances which will not be inside the training file. So once you test with these things, then you will get a good accuracy rate, or you'll get an accuracy rate or precision rate. So once you get that rate, no, then you can decide how is the precision or accuracy of your model, and how to increase it or decrease it. So based on the accuracy you get, you can decide the things. So first, to initially start with, these are the major two files which we need for training a model. So one is the training file, and another is the testing file. So if you see this model parameters, so this model parameters, as I told, this has some relationship with the pre-processing. So when you pre-processing means cleaning up the data. So when you see this training file, so there are so many things. If you see this, I want to pay my postpaid bill. uh, this I want to pay, all these things no, this will be added into the context. But for finding an intent, this I want to, all those things won't require. So what we do is, in pre-processing there is something called stop words removal. I'll show you what is this stop words removal. So we have a text file for stop words. Okay, so this stop words contains of all these words or letters which will be added into the context, but this will be not included in predicting the intent. This will be not as part of the predicting the intent. So this will not affect your utterance. You can remove all those things. Say for example, do, of, is, who, below. So these things no, these things will be in your context, that's it, the utterance context, but these things will not help you in predicting the intent. So what we do is, we remove all these stuffs in the utterance file, in this utterance file. So when you see, initially when you give this raw file, it will be like this. When you feed this file to the model, or when you feed this file to the algorithm, what it will do is, based on these model parameters, if it is true, then it will remove the stop words from the utterances. All the stop words will be removed from the utterances. And there is something called apply contraction. Again, apply contraction is, we have a contraction file. Contraction, in the sense, I'll tell you what it is exactly. So user can type anything. Say for example, here I have TXNS transactions. So all these things now will be belong to one category called transaction, right? And there is another thing called account. So say for example, user can type ACCNT account, ACC, or ACCNT. So all these things now will be grouped and categorized into one account. So in your training file, if any of the utterance consists of these words, this will be converted into this will be converted into a whole word like account, and will be replaced with that account. So that is what this apply contractions is doing here. So this is what is model parameters does here. And we have something like n-gram. So what do you mean by n-gram? In the sense, say for example, my, say for example, I have an utterance like my this this is my car. So if this is your utterance, and if you give an engram, if you give an engram as 3, this will the 3 is the default number for engram. What it does is, this utterance will be split into 3 types. Say for example, this utterance will be replaced with this is my, and is my car. So and so this is my, and, so if you give engram as 3, this whole utterance, no, it will be split into 3 different types based on the combinations. So this is one example which I am giving, but the model does all those things here. You can give an engram from 1, 2 and 3, so 3 being the default of engram version. And this is case sensitive. If you want your utterance to be case sensitive or no, then you can just give true or false, so that it will be converted into a lowercase all the utterances, or it will be in the same casing as how you have given, right? And data shuffle means it will just shuffle the utterances. I won't do much. So this is some of the model parameters which we give for pre-processing. Pre-processing means cleaning up of the data before training to the model. And if you see here, there is another parameter called training parameters. So in the training parameters, we add the training percentage as 100. So what exactly this means is, if you have a training file, uh, if you have a training file of 100 utterances, so I have okay, maybe if I have a training file of 100 utterances, if I give my training percentage as 100, then all the training utterances will be taken into the training itself. If I this will be like default 100. You can give some other percent also, 70% I can give, or 60% I can give. What it does is, it will based on these 100 utterances, the 70% of the utterances will be given to the training, and the remaining 30% of utterances will be taken for the testing of your model. So that is what this training parameter does. Or else, if you have another explicit testing file, you can give it as 100 percentage here, no issues. So if you give as 100%, you need to have an explicit testing file as we have here. So if you see, we have a testing file here, right? So we give the training percentage as 100. If you don't have this file, or if you want your training and testing should be in the same file, then you can give the percentage of separation. 70% can be included for training, and 30% can be included in that file. Only 30% of utterances can be included for testing. So this is one thing which comes into the request. And there is another node called include feedback data. I'll come back to this later, but currently when you're training a new intent, this is not required for you guys. And model category. So the model is intent finder, right? So we are training intent finder. So the model category goes as intent finder. This will be like a constant value here, intent finder. So this is the request format which we give for training a intent finder model. So do you have any questions, guys? Okay, I'll tell you what is this file path. So this file path consists of all these supporting files. I told you, right? We have so many supporting files here, like pre-processing files. So all these files you need to give as an input to the model to pre-process those things. So file path will take that. It will be a list of files. So you can give name and value, name and path in the request itself. Or another way to do is, you can give it in the database. So database, how will you give is, so you have something called model ID and model version, and the name of the file type or name of the file. So you give here something like stopwords file, and you give the entire path, and you give the testing file, you give the entire path here, training file, and give the entire path. So this is how it is. So you give all the files here and the paths of those files. So if the service, if the API sees this file path as empty, then it will go and fetch from the database based on this model ID and model version. So you can either put it in database or you can either put it in the request for training. So anything works here. Okay. So, and there is another thing which I need to tell you is this out path. So this out path is something like you need to give you need to give a out path. Out path in the sense this will be an empty folder which will you give initially while training. So what happens is when the model is trained, it will generate a model files. When it will generate a model files with the extension. I'll show you how the model files will be with an extension .pkl and vectorize.pkl. So this is the standardized files which all the ML models generate. So these files will be generated. We have written a logic to how to generate this file. So this file will be generated based on your model ID and model version. So if say for example I have trained my model with model id as viola.city and model version with 1.0, then this file will be generated as model id underscore model version and output.pkl. Again, model id model version and vectorize.pkl. So these are the files which will be generated. Outpath will be in the outpath which you give in the database. So these are the files which when on successful training of the model, these files will be generated. I can't show you how to train a file now because it takes a lot of time for training the file. um, so is this you guys have any doubt for this
Yeah,
training, how
yeah,
we
like
train?
just one question
You
I
guys
have.
have any training doubt in how we prepare this testing file and training file?
Yeah, I have a question. Hello, can you hear me,
Or
Likit?
Yeah,
shall
yeah,
I
go
move
ahead.
forward
Go
with
ahead.
predicting the intent?
Likit, one question. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yagya was asking a question. Yeah, Yagya.
Yeah.
I have one question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. That file path you mentioned, right? So you
Yeah.
said you can keep the file, you can give the file path, or you can also get the
Use the
file
database.
path from the database. So if it is
Correct.
in the database,
Mhm.
how do you consume here? How do you give
How
it
do
as
you,
part of the request?
so if it is not in the database, how do you give it a part of the request, right?
No, no, if it is in database, how will you
Uh-huh.
append those things in this node from the
So
database?
we won't append actually. So in the service, no, in the
Hmm.
intent finder service, we check this if the length of this file path is zero. If the length of this file path is zero, then we query those files and we put it in a list. It will be like a dictionary. It will be like a dictionary in the sense name and value,
Okay,
name
okay,
of the file and path of the file. So it will be like a dictionary there.
okay.
It
You're
will be like a
checking. You're
JSON.
checking if this.
Will
Okay, you're checking if this node has some values or doesn't have any values.
Yeah,
If it
correct.
doesn't
So
have,
if it is
then
not
based
there,
on the
then
model ID, you're querying it.
exactly. If it is
Okay,
empty, then we query. If it is not empty, then the given paths we take.
okay. And one more question I have.
Yeah,
Uh, so you have one for testing and one is the training, right?
correct,
So
correct.
the training and testing both are same. So
Yeah,
first you
same
train,
file.
so both
Yeah,
first you train, then you test, correct?
exactly.
Okay, so you
So
train the
I'll tell you a use
intents,
case.
like
Yeah,
whatever intents you have, you first train them so that they will understand what is the
correct,
intent. Then you test
correct,
based on the intent you have.
correct. Before
Okay,
predicting, no, you test. You why you test? Because you need to get some amount of accuracy or precision, right? You so that you can
hmm.
tell to others that I have a model, machine learning model with this much accuracy, with 90% accuracy or 80% accuracy. You need to tell them, right? So
Okay,
you need to evaluate those things. You need to evaluate your model after training. You're testing. Say for example, if a kid goes to a school, he'll be trained for the whole year. Then he'll be tested with the exam, right? So then only we'll get
okay,
to know what is the capacity of his. So it is similar to that. We'll then only we'll get to know the capacity or the accurate or precision of the model. So for that we test with the different things, with the
okay,
different so that is
okay,
the overview here.
okay. And one last question.
Yeah.
So the and this n-gram range. So the
Yeah.
more the n-gram range, the more the
Mhm.
accuracy is it? Or
It's
it
it's not like that. It's not like that. See, what is this engram does is it increases your utterance file. So, say for example, if my utterance is of like this is my
uh,
car, and
uh,
see if you see if my engram is three, there are three utterances which are generated.
uh.
Different, yeah, three utterances with the same context, right?
So
So,
what is the advantage of giving more n-gram range? If I give
uh,
more n-gram range,
Yeah, again,
what will
I'll
be the
tell
uh,
that.
advantage?
I'll tell that. So basically, this is like maintaining context between the previous word and the next word. So when we generate an utterance file, it's not only is my car. It also generates multiple utterance like this is my car, and so it's like combination of things it will generate, so that when we train a model, right? So we pick all these utterance and when we'll be training it, so that it will get more contextual based kind of nature, and it will understand more. So that's the whole idea of this ngram, using ngram inside intent finder. So ultimately, if people can type in multiple ways, so to understand multiple ways and to understand the context, so my car or yours car, that is the most common word which come across when we type this is my car, this is his car or something like that. So to understand those context and identifying the intent, we need ngram to be more precise. So ngram is depends on the utterance. I mean, if we have four words kind of sentence, most of the words are four words, then we can use ngram as four. So that's up to us. We need to decide, and we need to see intent finder and increasing the accuracy. We need to run multiple times, and we need to analyze the data. That's how we'll get to know. Unless until we change the parameters, in few cases stop removing stop words, we shouldn't do it. In some case we need to remove stop words. So entirely that depends on the data what we get. So that's how intent finder works internally.
So we need to take for which data how many like stop words and how many n-gram range we need, like how
Yeah,
many this one.
so
So
even
basically we have to take and we have to check,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a multiple trial. We need to do it, and we need to figure it out a particular value. I mean, particular
Okay.
accuracy,
So
and
for which
it's not
so
a
what is
single shot.
the best, for what is the best range and what is the best number of
So
this one utterances for
by
particular request?
by default we have taken ngram as 3, so that's the best one. So it won't increase.
Okay.
Maybe if 5 words a sentence is there, so we'll remove stop words
Hmm.
and all those things, and later on we might get just the 5 word sentence, so just 3 or 5, something like that. It would work out. So as per our data, whatever we have trained, for that 3 has
Hmm.
worked better. That's
Oh,
the
three has
only thing.
worked. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, 3 has worked better, and we are removing the stop words as well. And in case of some other, I have done for this Citibank, one of the
Hmm.
thing, one of the, I
Hmm.
mean, create deal in view deal. So there we have less utterance, and removing stop words I have done there. But in that case, accuracy is very less. So if I'm preserving the stop words, then accuracy is coming more. So that's how, I mean, it's a multiple test and trial method to understand the model and which model works better and all those things. So that's how we need to analyze the model.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Understood. Thanks. Thanks.
okay, so you're clear
Yeah,
with
and
the training
Likit,
part?
one more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, one more question, Likit.
yeah.
See, the training file as well as the testing file, what you are giving, right? Data set
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you are manually entered some 100 sentences, or
Yeah, yeah,
you get it
manually entered.
from? Okay.
Manually entered
Okay.
data.
Then that,
So that
yeah,
is why
testing sentence
that is
is
where this
different.
process. So the
It,
data which you give here is the manual entered data,
yeah,
right? So you need to clean some
yeah,
data for training. Yeah, go ahead, Manoj. Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead. That was my question.
So
No, that is
one more
So
thing.
manually
it is
entered data.
generated from other library, or it's
No. That is
by,
manually
I mean,
entered data.
Yeah,
okay,
You need to enter that. Yeah.
we need to prepare the
okay,
data set, so where we can search. In our
yeah,
case, for this banking context, we have taken from some SBI chatbots, HDFC chatbots, and we have collaborated everything and we have prepared the data set. That's how we
Oh,
got the data.
okay. You have took from
So the
Yeah, yeah.
some
data set depends on your intent actually, Manoj here. So if your
okay.
intent is
Yeah, yeah.
open account, then it will be like how different ways you can tell, right, to open an account.
Yeah.
So that will be your data
Yeah.
set here, and some of
Okay.
them will be as part of the testing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And one more
So
question. We are specifying the file path, right?
yeah,
We are giving the key value as key and the value name, right? The key has to be same, right? For example, if it is stopword, the stopwords having some reserved key name, or we can give any key name.
no
To
stopwords.
specify the name stopword.
Reserved. There is a constant file name like
Correct.
stopwords
Yeah.
underscore file. So this is the name which you need to
Oh,
give there. So
correct.
this
So
this
we
this
can't give any
exactly.
other name. It should be
No,
like stopword underscore file,
yeah,
so
yeah,
that model
exactly.
can
This
understand
is
this is for stopword.
yeah.
Okay.
No, no, this, yeah, exactly. You need to give this only because we are
Okay.
taking based on this file name only in the service. So you need to give based on
Okay,
these
Ritik.
files. For testing file also you need to mention it as testing underscore file and training underscore file like that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, got it.
So any doubts with the training?
It's
So
okay. You can move on.
I can
Yeah, you can go on. But do you have a document for this for all the algorithms you have used, right? Stopword. So what does the stopword do? Do you have some kind of document? It will be helpful for us.
document. We don't have a particular document, but we have a document where the interns have done. Maybe that
Okay.
will be helpful for you. I'll speak to Bala and let you know regarding the document because we don't
Okay.
have particular document which we have made for
Okay.
this models. So I'll come back to you on this document part. Okay.
Okay, Ritik.
Yeah,
Got it.
so because this we have done, it's not a predefined way of doing it. I mean, it's not
Okay.
necessary that we have to do stopwords. It's not necessary that we have to do n-gram. It's not necessary that we have to do contractions or something else. So that's the
Correct.
reason
Correct.
it's not a predefined structure or way we can prepare a document as well. So that is one thing, and maybe we
Okay.
can he can check with Bala and he can do it. Regarding algorithms, you can it's an open source as well. Scikit-learn has
Okay.
multiple algorithms. If not these 5 algorithms, you can learn many algorithms from there as well. But currently we are using these 5. We are supporting these 5 algorithms based on our data and all.
Okay.
No.
And
Okay, Ritik.
this is like a trial and error, Manohar. So wherein to initially start up with all these things, no, if you want stopwords to be yes or no, all these things will be trial and error based on your accuracy. You can just put stopwords as no, put stopwords as yes, train, and check the accuracy. So
Okay.
ultimately, this is a trial and error, and you'll come to a point where your model is accurate. So that is why. So after this
Okay.
training, now we'll go to prediction. So how do we predict the trained model? So as I told, there will be a model files which will be generated in the out path model file. So based on this model files, this model will be predicted. So there is a request for prediction. So before that, no, I'll tell you the response of the training API. So once the training is completed, no, the status will be true, and intent finder training will be success and model training is completed. This is what the message you get or the response once the training is completed. So after this, for prediction, no, how do you predict? So for predicting, you need to mention the model ID which you have trained. So if you have trained with the model ID like sample here, sample and model version as 1.0. For predicting, your model ID will be sample and model version will be 1.0.1, because if you see here, the file which is generated here is it is adding a suffix here with dot one, right? Dot 1, dot 2, so something like this. So for first time, if you are training a model, If your model version is 1.0 and the model file will be generated as 1.0.1, and for one algorithm there will be two files which will be generated. If you are using 5 algorithms, so there will be 10 model files which will be generated with model id and model version.
Yeah, one more thing.
And
So we can actually train multiple models at a time. So we have that scalability. That's why we have brought in this versioning system and all those things. That's the only thing.
yeah, so if you want to predict a particular model, you mention the model ID and the exact model version here, and the model category will be a constant name here, intent finder. This is fine, and the message here. What is the message you want to predict? So you can tell make transfer or pay my bill of 500, something like that. Any message goes in here, and file path. So as you can give the file path, or you can just leave this as empty. Again, it will go into the database and will fetch the model files based on the out path. Or else you can give the model files, the model generated file paths. No, you can just give in this node. So this is the request format for prediction of a model. The message goes here, and each model ID and model version will be here. And the response for this prediction, no, the response will be something like this. If you see, we have response like this. So if there are any errors will be visible here. And the message, so the message what you have typed here, no, that message will be here. Like if you want to if you type pay my bill, the message will be here. And model category, same as usual, intent finder will be intent finder. And we have a node called predicted. In predicted, we have two types. One is actual and one is probable. One is actual and one is probable. So what we are doing is any intent which is predicted and has a score more than 0.5 or 50% of accuracy, more than 50%, more than or equal to 50% of accuracy, we place that intent in an actual node. If any intent which is predicted and which accuracy is less than 50% or less, then those intents will be in the probable. So these are the two things which we are doing it. So if you send a message, something will be predicted. So the predicted will be actual or probable will be based on the cutoff accuracy. We have a cutoff of 50%. If the predicted intent is accurate more than 0.5, if you see here, for pay my bill message, there is a label called bill payment. Label in the sense the predicted intent is bill payment, and the score of this bill payment is 0.5. 0.53 and 53 something. So this is more than 50%. Okay, so then this comes into a category of actual. So if you see, I have given pay my bill, and something as predicted as a mobile bill payment as an intent, and this has a score of 0.18. So this will be into the category of probable. And some other things, view transactions and 0.3 of accuracy. So all these things now will be under the probable category. So when you want to take the intent out, no, so you need to consider always actuals label. Actuals label will be the intent which will be predicted, and which will have the more accuracy. So this is the response format for prediction. And status, intent is recognized, and all these things are true, success, everything. So this is how we predict the intent. So in prediction, do you have any doubts?
Yeah, I'll get one question on. See, you're giving an actual is an array of nodes. Sometimes if the predicted, if the prediction is more than 50%, you told, right? If something, there are two cases for bill payment, bill pay, it will come predicted. It is more than 50% score. Okay.
Correct.
If it comes in array of two nodes, right? So which one you will proceed? You will proceed with the first element or a second node?
It won't come. See, if you have only 100%, right? Only 100% you will have. Within the 100%, if one intent is 50+%, then other intent can't be 50+%. If one intent is
Okay.
50,
Oh, in a total of
the remaining
100%, you're telling.
47%,
Okay.
yeah, the remaining 47% will be allocated to other intents. You got that,
Okay.
right? So
Got it.
there will be only one
Yeah.
thing here.
So
Okay.
whichever higher
Whichever
score, you
more
take
than
that.
50% will be here. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this will be always one. Okay. This will be a list of always one array of one only. It won't be multiple values here.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Got
there
it.
can be a case where actual intents won't even come. I mean, it's like all
Yeah.
the percentage, no? So maybe it predicted 5 intents with 20, 20, 20, 20. So in that case, everything comes under probable. So there won't
Yeah.
be an actual intent. So it's in
Actually,
that
that
case
is
we need to understand that we have to furthermore train the model, or maybe something else we need to do to increase the accuracy. If if we are getting such kind of cases multiple times, then I would think that we need to train once again, and we need to increase the accuracy of model so that it falls under above 0.5 cutoff. So that's how we need to
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is about the whole intent finder thing, training and prediction, everything. So now I'll be moving on to the entity extraction part. So now we got to know how do we find the intent. So now after finding the intent, we need to pick the entities out of the utterance, right? So for bill payment, it may be 500 rupees and mobile number, all those things. So say for example, I'll walk you through the example for now, and I'll explain you what are the configurations you need to do for the entity extraction. So basically, this is the request format which I use for entity extraction. When it has some bot ID and conversation ID and something like entity data. This is not required for you. I'll tell you why we need this. And there is something like input message which you give as an input message, and the predicted intent. So entities will be predicted only after the intent is predicted, right? So you give the what is the intent here actually, and the model ID of that intent and model version of that intent. So this is the request format for the prediction of entities. So if you see, my message is pay my mobile bill of rupees 500 and confirm, and my mobile number is something like this. So it has to predict some of the values here, 500, confirm, and the mobile number. So before predicting this, no, I'll take you to the table. Okay, so we have a table called model entity, wherein we maintain all the entity sequences of the model of the particular model. So, say for example, we have a model of we have an intent like a mobile bill payment. So this mobile bill payment may have entities like phone number, amount, and cancel and confirmation, something like that. And if you have transfer as an intent, so you can have beneficiary name, amount, from account type, date. All those things can be as part of an entity. So what we do is we give the sequence of extraction. So when the request goes to the service, so what it will do is we give here the sequence. So sequence will be one for mobile number, and second one will be the amount, and third will be the confirmation, and fourth will be the cancel. So based on this sequence, no, it extracts these entities out of the message. So first, when you hit a service, first extracted entity here is mobile number, and the second extracted entity will be the amount, and the third will be the confirmation and the cancel. So there is a reason why we do the sequence of order here. I'll tell you that reason once I'll explain this whole process. So this is how the sequence of entities or the entities which we maintain here. Um, and okay, so this is one thing, and there is another thing for the configurations thing. How do you configure the entities to get extracted? So there is another table called entity details, wherein this table consists of say model ID and model version and entity ID. all these things will be queried from the service. So it will pick this model ID and model version, and it will come to this entity details for model ID, mobile bill payment, and model version 0.1. It will pick the entity ID, phone number, and it will check. There are four types of prediction what we have. One is model extraction, model prediction, and one is data type, built-in data types extraction, and some other something called utility config and validation config. I'll come to this model prediction and utility. Currently we are not using for your use case these two things, and we have something like validation and built-in data types config. So if you see this built-in data types config now, I'll show you the configuration for mobile bill payment, how the configuration is defined for the bill payment. The configurations will differ for each entities. The configurations will differ for each entities. So this is something like, consider the data type state. Data type state, in the sense, the data type state there is built-in data types. So it has to, if you are extracting the value through built-in data types, then it will be true. And the validation type, after extracted the value, it has to validate something, right? So it will be validated based on the database values. I'll tell you this, what is this validation. And action is the APZ phone. Okay, this is the built-in data type. So as for OCR, you might know there are so many built-in data types, right, to extract the values. So similarly, we have the same built-in data types here also to extract the values, all these things. And there is something like remove extracted value, and why. I'll tell you what is this, why we use remove extracted value. And is looked up value is n. So if you see another configuration for confirmation, you might find some different flags here. The nodes will be same, but the flags will be different here. So if you see here, consider state again true, and validation will be based on database, and APZ confirmation is the data type which will be called here. And here, if you see, remove extracted value is n, and is looked up value is y. So there are so many techniques which we use to extract a value. So the one technique is database. One technique is a dictionary lookup is what we use. So you might ask, what is this dictionary lookup? So dictionary lookup is nothing but there will be a file which will be which will have the values, some static values. Say for example, this file, this is a confirmation dictionary.txt. Okay, if I give the user, if you have seen chatbot, right? So we'll give the confirmation there. The user will type something like confirmation, confirm, or yes, okay, approve. So the how many these are the different kinds of ways the user can confirm to proceed, right? So once we form this dictionary, we are based on the message. So if you see here, the message I have given as confirm. So based on this message, it will look up for this exact text from this dictionary file. If this exact text, if the exact word is present in this dictionary file, it will extract that value and give it to the user. So that is one of the technique which we are doing. We'll keep a dictionary file, we'll look into the dictionary, and we'll extract that value. So if you are looking into the dictionary and extracting that value, so the is lookup value, is lookup flag will be y. If you are looking into the dictionary, is lookup flag will be y. And this is the data. After extraction of that value, you will validate that value with the database. So this is the configuration for dictionary lookup, one of the dictionary lookup. And there is another technique which we use for mobile bill payment, mobile number. So mobile number, we'll extract the mobile number from a string with a pure regex. Okay, so there we are not looking into any dictionary or something like that. So the looked up value will be here as y. The looked up value here is y. And you may ask, what is this remove extracted value? So I have given remove extracted value. So what the logic behind this is, if you see here, there are two numbers. One is 500 and one more is the mobile number. So the sequence of extraction here is mobile number will be extracted first, then it goes to the amount, right? So in this full utterance, with the regex it will extract the mobile number. It won't extract this as a mobile number, this 500 as a mobile number. So it will extract this and it will remove this. It will remove this extracted value from this utterance, because when you go to extract this when you go to extract this 500, it should not extract the mobile number also as a part of amount. So that is the reason we remove this value as part of the input message. So that is one configuration which we use only for mobile number and amount. If both entities are in same intent, then we use this configuration as y and n. And so APZ phone is a built-in data type wherein we do a pure regex to extract the mobile number out of it. And I'll show you the amount data type. So how this amount will be extracted. So again, this amount, we won't look up this amount into any of the files created. So again, this will be empty, this will be n, and we won't remove the amount from the input message. So that will be n again. So APZ amount file will be called, and if you see here, the amount will be extracted. Entity name will be amount, and extracted value, final extracted value is like number is 500. In words, if you want, you'll get as 500, and special character will be dollar. So you can, in the utterance, you can give $500 or dollar with 500. So if you see this configuration, if you want number, then you keep as y. If you want word, you keep as y. If you want a special character, you keep as y. If you don't want the special character, you keep it as n. So I keep this as n. Maybe I keep this as n. So I'll put it. So if you see this, I'll run this again, same utterance with again. So you guys noticing here, right? I made that special character as n. So the special character is not extracted here. So that is one configurations which you make. How do you extract the entities out of it? So again, this is a pure regex what we are doing based on the mobile number. And confirm and cancel, you can just type cancel also. That cancel also same. We have the dictionary file. It will be extracted and it will be it will looked up. And the confirmation I've typed as confirmation, right? So it has looked up. I'll remove the confirmation now. Just run this. So if you see the confirmation, entity name is confirmation, but nothing has been looked up or nothing has been done because we don't have any value here, so it is not looked up. So this is 500, like 100 I'll give. So if you see 100 is also extracted here, and the number is also extracted here. So this is some configurations. It might look a bit catchy for you, but this is the configurations which we use to extract the entities out from the given text. So this is how the entities gets extracted.
Likit, one question on it. If you give an amount as 10-digit number, can you give that now? In place of 100, you give some 10 digits, dollar. So that does it take it as a phone number, or it will take it as an amount itself?
Okay. How many digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give some random number.
Okay, see it is giving. Okay, so the thing is, there will be 10 digit number in the sense amount will be like some trillion. It will be like trillion, right? So trillion will not get extracted. That is one thing which I want to tell you. Trillion is something which is not getting extracted from the amount. So we are using a library
Okay.
to extract the amount. Okay, so trillion will not get extracted. Rather, I'll remove the trillion. So it has to extract. So you see, 10 million is getting extracted. Million will get trillion.
Okay.
No, billion trillion something, I guess. So that will not extract from that library actually.
No. My question is for the phone number, right? Because the sequence number for the phone number is number 1. If you give random 10-digit number in for the amount, okay,
Random
does
10
it take the amount value or a phone number itself? How it is taking actually?
So I
Yeah,
didn't get your question. You need to give the random digit number, right?
Likit, I'll reply to him. So
Yeah.
whatever you have asked, it's a valid question, and so here you are asking that phone number is 10 digits and amount if we give it as 10 digits,
Correct.
and we have given priority to the phone number first, and so that
Phone number.
whether number will get extracted as a phone number. That's what your question, right?
Correct.
Amount will
Correct.
extracted as. So there is a possibility that even amount can be extracted as a phone number. So in that case, here it's a plain lookup which we try to do, and we try to, there is no model involved in such cases. I mean, it's a plain case where there is no model involved. If whatever cases you are telling, right? So if you want to solve those kind of cases and all, you need to train the model. So that again, how we used to do for intent finder to understand the context. So in the same way, you can there are few more algorithms where you can train such kind of utterance, and you can extract amount and mobile number separately, even though it's a 10 digit or 11 digit or 10 digit. It can be anything. It can be extracted.
Okay.
So
Okay. For entity, there is no data sets kind of thing for training, but for
no entity training.
for intent, it is having.
Entity also we have something for training and all. I'm not sure Likit today he is covering that or not. Currently, whatever he is telling, it's a plain lookup based model where there is no machine learning involved in the background. So whenever there is a context
You
or
just look up again dictionary text file, right?
yeah, we have certain defined formats kind of thing. So based on those formats kind of thing, we'll be looking up. So in why we choose this kind of approach in case of modeling? Actually, we can solve that using modeling as well. So the problem is, suppose in case of transfer, if we take the modes of transfer would be IMPS, NEFT, or other model, other thing will be there, NEFT or
Account type,
RTGS.
savings or
Yeah, transfer type. So in the or maybe account type, if you take, it's a beneficiary to beneficiary account or to your self account. There are only two categories there. So these kinds of things we don't need model to do it, because model needs lot of training and lot of maintenance stuff which we need to do in the background. So in that case, instead of model, it's better that we go for extracting the entities directly out of a lookup or something. So if we take it maybe this transfer types, there are only three values which you need to look up. Either it will be getting it as RTGS or NEFT or IMPS. Only three values will be there. So we'll have a dictionary in the background with those three values, and we'll try to look up from those three values only. So that's how this will work. But in your case, whatever you're trying to ask, to build the context around it, again we need to go for a model. If you need to solve those kind of issues, and if you need to do those kind of things, even that has a model, and you can extract those things as well. And even these simple things also you can extract using model, but training, maintenance, and understanding model, again it's a trial and error kind of thing. We need to test it and we need to do it, so that it will take lot of time. That's the only thing. Apart from that, you can use model as well. So whatever you have told, that will be extracted. That won't be a problem.
and on top of Nikhil's, no Manohar, even you can have some locations also, regions also, region dictionary, wherein you can put MP Road, Bengaluru, some other regions also into that and extract that. No need to write a model for all those things, extraction. So when you have the conflicts, right, with the mobile number and amount, so for these use cases, no, and free formatting text. So if you want, say something like that, something like ID, unique ID, which will be like two digit, 3 digit, 4 digit, any number of digit an id can be. So if you want to extract free flow of text, so then in that case you might use the model, entity extraction model. So we have a model for entity extraction also, but for now I'm not showcasing that for this session. So if you require that, then maybe I can take a next session for that entity extraction model also. It's not an issue, but for your use case, no, for your use case, you do, what we think is you don't require that NER extraction. NER means a named entity recognition model, which is not required for your use case.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So any doubts you have? So I'll come back to you on the document part. For entity extraction, we don't have any document. For intent finder, there is a small document which the interns have done. Maybe I'll speak to Bala and I'll come back to you on the document part. So you want any other things? Well,
No.
So maybe I'll wrap it up whatever Likith has done in just a couple of minutes. So in a new use case, maybe everyone will be thinking that how do we solve if we get a new use case kind of thing, and how do we suppose today bill payment is there, tomorrow you wanted to pay some other bill, or maybe electricity bill you wanted to pay. So that is the use case maybe your team might needs to implement. So how do we actually define those use case? That's the primary question we need to address. So in case of electricity bill payment or those things, so the first thing which we need to do is we need to collect the data for the electricity bill. So pay my electricity bill, or pay the electricity bill of maybe
current
electricity
bill.
yeah current bill, or maybe anything else. And maybe you can use the keywords of each electricity department, AP electricity department or Karnataka electricity department. So there are a lot of electricity departments and the vendors which they provide the electricity. So maybe we can use those kind of words as well. So the primary goal should be we need to collect all the data and we need to map everything to a single intent. That is the primary goal. We can sort it out in the dictionary or in the data set. So collect all the data and map everything to a electricity bill payment. That's the intent you will be mapping, and train the intent model and understand the output, how it gives and all those things, whether it's predicting it as electricity bill or not. Predict the model. So once intent training is been done, then you need to collect the information what and all needs to be. So in case of electricity bill payment, obviously you will be having an amount, because how much amount you will be paying to the electricity vendor, and vendor name, who is providing that electricity bill and all those things, and maybe electricity bill number might be there. So that bill number you need to type it, and so those kind of scenarios, right? So you need to gather the information. I mean, what and all the entities needs to be there. So entity understanding should be done by ourselves. I mean, if you are building a new case, you need to do your own entities. You need to gather it for that particular intent. So after gathering the entities, if it's a plain use case, you will be going with the just lookup models, and you will be adding just the lookup tables and all those things. And then if it's a tricky use case where it's a free formatted text and you need to extract it, in that case you will be going with a model. So these are the only two approaches which you can go. So mostly we can solve lot of the things using this dictionary lookup as well, because there won't be any much more vendors or something will be there, so that you can extract using that. So that's how you need to solve the problem whatever you will get, or that's how you need to add one more intent or one more use case to the chatbots. So that's how you need to start the journey, and that's how you need to understand it. Yeah, that's all from my side. So if anyone has some other questions, Likith will take it up.
So I think we need to start. Then once we'll start, then we'll get more questions for sure.
Yeah.
We need to
So
start and
with starting, no, Yagya. So first thing is based on your requirement, no. So Manohar told me there is a requirement for some menu accessing thing. So you need to identify what is the intent first. So when you identify the intent, you need to add the data supporting utterances for that intent. As I told, the training file and testing file. So that is the first thing which you need to start up. Then after that, you need to you need to identify the entities for that intent. So what will be the entities? So for bill payment, there will be entities. For mobile bill payment, mobile number and amount are the entities here, right? So like
Correct,
that,
correct.
you need to identify the entities first, and after identifying the entities, you need to figure out each entity how we will extract that, either with the dictionary lookup or with the simple regex for phone number like that, or simple, or for any other free flowing text, we need to use a model to extract the entity. So that is the one thing which you need to figure it out. Then we start with the training, all those things,
Training
prediction
and
and
testing.
finding. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That is the thing.
Understood.
So yeah, you can come back anytime towards me or Nikhil. Will just help you guys out, and we'll guide you how to prepare a file or how to train a file. All those things anytime. Yeah.
I think whenever we need to start on this, then we'll definitely have questions. And the in
Yeah.
the intent finding itself, before that itself, we'll have some doubts.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you
Yeah.
start.
Okay.
I think one example, if we can just do, then the next time onward it will be easier for us. Just
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just need
Okay.
to understand the flow, right?
Correct.
What
Correct. Correct.
exactly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We can will help on that. Yeah. That is fine. Because the thing is, I didn't show you how to train and how to predict here, because training and all, no, it takes time.
Okay.
It depends on the number of utterances, and your machine should be fast enough to train. So it takes
Okay.
time for training.
So
So
does it take time to train or?
No,
no, it depends on your utterance.
yeah, correct, correct. So in case of intent finder, I would say with our office machines, it might take maximum 1 hour to 2 hours. I mean, if
1 or 2 hours?
1 2 hours and maximum. I mean, that's how whatever utterance we have, no, some 1800 or 1900 utterance are there. So for that max to max, we used to get for 1 hour in our office system. So, but when we actually train the entity model, so there we need to understand the context between each and every word, and we need to extract the word. So when we are going for a model based in case of entity, it would take in Azure itself. We used to take there is a GPU there. I mean, GPU we are using with 16 core process and all those things. There itself, it used to take around 6 to 7 hours to build a model. So in our system, I would say it will be more than. I mean, maybe it might take 1 day as well. Overnight, we need to put it and we need to check it tomorrow whether model has been created or not.
Oh, okay.
So more number of utterance, the time will be more. That is one thing here.
Uh,
Then the accuracy will be improved. More number of utterance.
correct. Correct. What no attempts? Correct.
Yeah.
Let's
So
try. Let's try it out then. We'll try it out. Then we'll
yeah,
come back
yeah,
with the questions.
yeah, sure, sure. Maybe I'll come back to you on the document part, and maybe of sharing all these things what I've done today. No,
Yeah,
what
if
I've
you have any document like the step by step or document, anything, any supporting document, then
yeah.
then
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll check that once. Okay. Uh,
okay,
check that, and I'll come back to you guys on document. Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
okay. I don't have any
Thank you.
question.
Any questions, or you can
I don't
just
have
tell?
any. I don't have any.
Okay, fine, guys. Then thank
No
you so much.
question. No question. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Likit. Thank
Thank
you.
you then. Thank you,
Thank you so
Likit.
much.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Likit. Thank you.